They sat there for a while, hooves entwined, watching the other ponies dancing and enjoying themselves. "This night is everything I thought it would be. I don't know how it could get any better."
"I could think of one thing,"
Rarity blushed.
"You can take a picture with me,"
she said, indicating the photo booth behind them. They slowly walked over to the booth and pushed the button. As they sat inside, Rarity wrapped her arms around Spike as the first flash went off. Before the second flash can activate, Spike hugged her to him. The last picture showed Rarity giving a very surprised Spike a kiss on the cheek. Spike led Rarity through the streets and down the avenues until they reached the overlook, a secluded spot that was away from everything and every pony. The only light came from the moon, shining above them. They lay down together on the grass, resting against a nearby tree. "Rarity, I think I've made my decision." Rarity nuzzled against him.
"What have you decided?"
"I'm going to stay like this." Rarity was shocked.
"What? How can you say that? You heard what they said. If you stay like this, you could die in 10 years, maybe even sooner."
"What I only care about is you, Rarity. I don't care if all I live is another year, as long as it could be with you," Spike confessed to her. Rarity was stunned. She didn't realize exactly how much Spike cared for her, but she knew that she had to convince him to go back.
"Me? Spike, life is too precious a thing. I like you a lot, but I can't let you sacrifice yourself just for me."
"If not for you, then who? 100 years or 1,000 years, it wouldn't matter to me. It's my life. Shouldn't I have the right to live it the way I want?"
"You say that you'd be doing this for me, but think for a moment. How do you think I would feel if you stayed this way and you died? What do you think that would do to me, knowing you died because of me? What about the girls? Applejack, Pinky, Fluttershy, and Dash? How would they feel? What about Twilight? She depends on you, Spike. She's like a sister to you. I heard you say so yourself. I can't take that away from her, our friends, or myself."
Rarity sat down and was starting to cry.
"I don't know what I'd do if I lost you, Spike. I've come to realize just how much you mean to me. I don't think I can handle losing you."
Spike walked over and hugged her tightly. "I'm sorry, Rarity. I guess I never really thought of it like that. If only to make you happy, I'll be a dragon again." Rarity nuzzled under Spike's chin.
"Thank you,"
she cried softly. Without really thinking about it, Rarity moved her nose closer to Spike's and kissed him. The kiss was quick and light, but sent a shudder down her spine.
"I love you, Spike, my gallant knight."
"I love you too, Lady Rarity." Rarity kissed him again, only this time she pressed her lips against his.
"Spike,"
she said softly,
"be with me tonight."
Spike blushed hard. "Rarity, I mean... Rarity kissed him lightly on the lips again to silence him.
"It's okay. Just let it happen,"
she whispered. High above the couple, 2 alicorns turned their back on the scene below.
"Let us give them another 2 hours, Tia. I am sure between the 2 of us, we can give them that much." "You've become quite the romantic, Lulu." "I told you never to call me that," she complained.
Celestia chuckled.
"Well, in any event, let's get things set up. I'm sure they'll be along eventually."
Spike and Rarity walked back to the palace, practically leaning against each other. Trotting into the palace, they were greeted by their friends, most of them wearing a smile on their face. Luna approached them.
"Have you decided?"
"Yes, Princess, I will become a dragon again." The girls set up a cheer that could be heard across the palace.
"Very well, Spike. Follow us and we'll get ready."
Spike followed Luna and Celestia to a special room below the main entrance of the palace. Along the way, the others were mobbing Rarity.
"Well, what happened?"
Rainbow Dash pressed her. Rarity held her head high.
"A lady does not kiss and tell."
Applejack smiled. "So there was kissing involved." Rarity blushed, and the others giggled. Entering the room, the first thing they noticed was how immense it was. Above them, in the ceiling, a large panel was sliding open, allowing a single shaft of the early morning sunlight into the room. Most of the stone chamber was too dark to make out clearly, but on the floor was carved an ornate compass star, a column of light illuminating its center.
"What is this place?"
Twilight asked. "I don't remember ever being down here."
"My dear student, long ago this is where the summer sun celebration was held. It was fine at first, but the population of Canterlot continued to grow, and this room, as large as it is, could no longer contain the population. So, after some consideration, I decided to take the celebration out of the palace to a different town each year, so that those who could not make it to Canterlot could still enjoy the holiday in the same manner," Princess Celestia explained. "Since then, the room has sat unused."
Spike stared at the solid column of sunlight that beamed into the chamber.
"Go on, Spike,"
Luna encouraged him.
"Will it hurt?"
he asked nervously.
"I do not know, young one. I have never done this before. I have only read about it,"
Luna told him. The purple stallion backed away from the pillar of light before him. This is feeling more and more like one of Twilight's magic experiments. Rarity nuzzled against him.
"Spike, I know you're scared, but this is the only way. Don't worry. I'll be here for you when it's finished."
"Okay, I trust you."
"If you say I'll be all right,
"Then I'm sure I will," he said, giving her a kiss on the cheek. Spike slowly walked into the shaft of light. As soon as the light touched him, he collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Rarity tried to run to his side, but Princess Celestia blocked her path.
"What are you doing? He needs me."
"Hey, look, he's shrinking," Rainbow Dash said.
"Rarity, please calm yourself,"
Celestia told her.
"Spike is merely changing back to his normal self. If you want to help him, assume your position at the north point of the diagram."
The white unicorn slowly walked to her appointed position, never once taking her eyes off the rapidly shrinking pony. Slowly, Spike's body began to change. The ponies in the room watched as Spike's eyes snapped open, and he howled in pain. His mane and tail vanished along with his coat, only to be replaced with a layer of shiny scales. His hooves split apart and slowly changed back into hands and feet. His face appeared to sink into itself. The ponies around him could hear his bones and joints break, crunch, and pop back into their original configuration. Mercifully, the small dragon passed out before having to endure much more. Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash did their best to comfort Rarity as she watched Spike return to his normal self. "Don't you worry, Sugarcube. I know it's hard now, but if Twilight and the princesses say it's going to be okay, then you can bet the farm on it," Applejack told her.
"Yeah, Rarity, in no time at all, we'll all be back in Ponyville like this never happened,"
Dash told her. The white unicorn spun on the cyan blue flyer.
"No, Rainbow Dash, this did happen, and as long as I live, I will never forget these past few days." Rarity, I think what Rainbow is trying to say is, once this is over, we can go home, and everything will be back to normal again,"
Fluttershy told her meekly.
"I know, Fluttershy, but for me, it will never be like it was. Not if I have anything to say about it." "Okay, every pony. Now that Spike is reverted back to a dragon, we must seal him in this form,"
Luna explained.
"Rarity, remain where you are. Celestia, Twilight, take a position at the other 2 points, and we'll begin."
The 2 unicorns and 2 alicorns concentrated as hard as they could, focused on the goal of sealing Spike in the form of a dragon. The horns of the spellcaster began to glow as magical energy was forced through them. The 4 ponies in the background could only stand there and helplessly watch as a blinding light enveloped their dragon friend. Spike's body slowly rose into the air, buoyed by the magic enveloping him. The unicorns and the princesses stood there, casting the spell for what seemed like hours.
"Princess Luna, is it supposed to take this long?"
Twilight asked.
"No, it should have only taken moments. Something has gone wrong,"
she said, continuing to pour energy into the spell. All of them were straining under the exertion of keeping it going for so long. Celestia and Luna were actually sweating from the effort.
"Give me a moment."
Luna reached out with her mind and examined the magic's effect on the young dragon and gasped at what she found.
"What is it, sister?" "Something has changed in Spike's makeup. Something that is pushing against our efforts. We need more energy to push back and finalize the sealing." "Twilight, if you're holding anything back, you need to let it out,"
Celestia said.
"I'm giving it all I've got. There's nothing left," she said. "If we stop now, Spike will die. Somehow we have to finish this,"
Luna shouted. Rarity dared to open her eyes and saw her Spike floating there in the air. His face was no longer twisted in pain, but looked soft and contented. She looked at the strip of pictures she held under her hoof.
"I can't fail him," she thought to herself. "Somehow, some way, I have to make this work."
In the back of her mind, she could hear a faint whispering. It was soft at first, but gradually grew in volume until it blocked out all other sound.
"Rarity, are you there?" "I'm here, Spike. I'm here."
"It's dark here. I'm scared," she said in her mind.
"Hold on, Spike. We're trying to save you. We're almost there. Please hold on." I trust you, Rarity. I love you, my lady. His voice seemed to drift off into the void. Spike, no! Spike, don't go! I love you! I love you! Please, hold on, I'm coming! A surge of immense power seemed to fill Rarity, something she had never felt before in her life. Carefully, using all of her strength, she focused the power and let it out through her horn. The ruin exploded in a dazzling display of azure-tinted light. Rarity opened her eyes in time to see Spike falling. She rushed forward just in time to catch the young dragon before he struck the floor. The sealing is complete, Luna announced, out of breath. I do not know where the last surge of magic came from, but we could not have finished without it. I think I know, Twilight said, pointing to a prone form of Rarity. She lay there, quietly sobbing, clutching the young dragon in her hooves. Is he okay? She asked. Yes, Rarity. Celestia looked down on the unicorn and dragon with warmth and compassion. Spike is safe, thanks to you, the princess assured her. Spike woke in the library, blinking the sunlight from his eyes. He rubbed his eyes and looked down at his hands. Hey, I'm a dragon again. It worked. Twilight and Sparkle rushed into the room. Spike, you're awake. How do you feel? A little woozy, but I think I'm okay, he said. So no more turning into a pony? You've been sleeping for 3 days and not the slightest change. Spike looked a little dejected. Oh, there's a gift for you. It's on the table beside you. I can't imagine who could have possibly left it. Twilight told him with a smile upon her face. Spike grabbed the box and tore into it. Inside the box was a heart-shaped picture frame with a picture of Rarity and Spike as a pony. Along with the picture was a note. You could hear Rarity's voice as he read it. Spike, no matter what you look like, I will always love you. Spike sighed. As he lowered the frame, he saw the white unicorn of his affection, standing in the doorway. Dropping the framed picture on his bed, he rushed over and hugged the mare as tightly as his little arms would allow. And I meant every word of it, she said. And thus, Curse of the Werepony is done. This has been a kind-of-ish, not really, long read. Not really that long. It really isn't that long. There are many way longer reads out there. But, yeah. I will be reading the second one after the Scootaloo Marathon. So, until then I'll be reading, just fics of my choice. If there are any other suggestions, I may read those as well. Until the marathon happens, and then, the marathon. And then after that, I will be doing Curse of the Werepony 2. And, after that, who knows? However this goes, it goes. Hope you guys liked this story. At first I was a little bit, skeptical. Because, shipping can be a little weird sometimes. But, yeah. I'm a little bit sick. My throat's kind of sore. So I hope it gets better soon. I mean, I can still read. But I also have a bit of a runny nose. Yeah. So I hope that all gets better in time for the marathon. I already have part of the second one read. And the first one is entirely read. And, anyways, yeah. I have a couple fics in mind for what I'm going to be reading next. A lot of them are on my read later list on FimFiction. So I'll decide between them on my own. Unless you guys have any suggestions for what I should read. Anyways, yeah. Till then, this is me, signing out. Peace!